Welcome to another episode of Dynamic Diecasters, where this week we're going to continue our Ghostbusters Ecto-1 build. This episode will be issue 10, which is stages 31 to 34. And when we come back, we'll go ahead and get started on talking about what we'll be building in this issue. Welcome back. Like I said before the break, we'll be working on stages 31 through 34 today. I'm not sure how long this will actually take, but for stage 31, we'll be working on the left rear suspension. Stage 32, we'll be working on the left rear wheel of the car. It looks like there'll be additional stuff like brake stuff. And then stage 33, we'll be working on the right rear suspension, and on the stage 34, we'll be working on the right rear wheel. So that's why I'm saying it. I don't know how long this will actually take us today. But with that, we'll go ahead and get started on stage 31. So like I said, this is left rear suspension. And there's like 7 parts and a few screws, so we'll see. I just don't envision these stages today taking all that long to complete, but I've been surprised before, so I may be surprised again. But so first part we'll take a look at is, I'm not sure which one it actually is, and if there was a part in here. Oh, that's probably the screw that fell. So we've got leaf spring rear outer shackle and rear inner shackle. These 2 little pieces here. Then we've got the leaf spring front shackle. We've got the rear suspension leaf spring. Then we've got a leaf spring clamp, which is this piece right here. Then we've got the shock absorber lower mount, which looks like it's this piece right here. Then we've got the shock absorber upper mount, which is this piece right here, which you remember in the previous episodes, you'll see it later, but the shock absorbers are already mounted to the car. Already we did that in a previous episode. I don't remember which one actually it was, but then we've got this shock absorber spring right here. And then we've got a multitude of screws. So we've got 2 BM screws, 1 CM screw, 2 LM screws, 1 NM screw, and then 2 PM screws, and then 1 QM screw, then an RM screw, and an IP screw. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started on this stage of the build, and I'll show you what we did when we get back. See you in a minute. And that's it for stage 31. So, like I was stating before, we worked on the left rear suspension. So we actually, as part of this stage, we put together this part, but we also attached the rear axle to the car. We actually put in the propeller shaft from stage 21. And we also attached the shock absorber here, the rear exhaust bracket here, and And that's pretty much what we did in this stage. The next stage is going to be the tire, I believe. So, but it took a little bit longer than I thought it was going to, because there was more involved in this stage than I thought there was going to be. But anyhow, let's move on to stage 32, which this shouldn't take that long unless there's more involved, because I know there's brake cables involved in this stage. So it's not just going to be the tire. It might be additional parts to the stage, but it may just be the cables for attaching later. So we'll see. So the first part is going to be obviously the left rear tire. Then we've got the hubcap. We've got the center cap, which I will not be putting on because I've sent out for the upgrades for these, so I won't be putting these on to the tires just like I didn't for the first two. And then we've got the outer wheel, and this is the inner wheel. And then we've got a brake fluid hose here. Then we've got, says, this will be interesting because I'll have to figure out which one's which, because there's a long one and then 4 short ones, or shorter ones. So they're all brake fluid hoses though. So I'll have to look at and see which ones are the longer ones. It looks like, and then there's 3 that are the same size, which it looks like it's these 4, and then that one. So, and then we've got 3 CM screws. Oh, and then I've also got a brake fluid hose bracket in this bag right here. So we've got 3 CM screws, 1 GM screw, and 1 LM screw. And with that, we'll go ahead and get started on this stage of the build, and I'll show you what we did at the end of this stage. See you in a few. So that's it for stage 32. So the first part we did was we assembled the tire, obviously, but then we also attached the brake and all the brake lines for this side to the car. So you probably can't see them, but there's 2 attached here, and then we've got 2 more running from the shock absorber underneath the chassis to this side. So in the next stage, we'll be doing, I think, the rear suspension. So we'll be attaching that over here, and then finally attaching the final tire to that side. So basically the next stage, I think, is gonna pretty much mimic what we did in stage 31, and then stage 34 will be close to what we did in this stage. So with that being said, we'll go ahead. Oh, the other part that, obviously we haven't attached yet was the right rear brake, and this is the backing plate, so we had to attach the brake lines to it. Obviously, when we attach this, probably in stage 34, we'll have to attach these to the chassis, pretty much on the opposite side of where we attached the left side. So with that, we'll move on to stage 33, which is the right rear suspension. So I would think that the parts are gonna pretty much be the same as stage 31. And it looks like they are, except obviously from that side perspective. So we've got the leaf spring front shackle, just like in stage 31. Then we've got the left leaf spring rear outer shackle, the rear leaf spring rear inner shackle. We've got the rear suspension leaf spring. We've got the which is this part. I took the wrong part out for the spring, but since it was an actual spring. Then we've got the leaf spring clamp, which is this piece. Then we've got the shock absorber lower mount. We've got the shock absorber upper mount, and then the shock absorber spring. And then we've got a bunch of screws. So we've got, just like in stage 31, we've got 2 BM screws, 1 CM screw, 2 LM screws, 1 NM screw, 2 PM screws, a QM screw, an RM screw, and 1 IP screw. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started on stage 33, and I'll show you what we did when we come back. See you in a few minutes. And that's it for stage 33. Like I said, it was going to be the suspension and basically attaching the brakes, the right brake to the car. So here's the suspension right here. Just like we saw in the previous stage, we just did this side where we attached and then we attached the brake cables to the shock absorber again. Then we ran the 2 cables from the brake to the splitter cables here. And then obviously we attached the brackets for the exhaust. At this point, we can move on to stage 34. This one will not take very long at all, I can tell you, because it's literally just attaching the right rear tire to the vehicle and assembling it. But that literally should take me like 2 minutes. Since I've done this 3 times already, I'm kind of getting used to doing them. But I'll show you the parts anyway. So like in the other 3 tires, we've got the right rear tire this time. We've got the hubcap. We've got the center cap, which again I won't be installing that. So I'll just put it on to the side. We've got the outer wheel, and then we've got the inner wheel. Then we've got 2 sets of screws. We've got 3 CM screws and 1 LM screw, which basically the 3 CM screws is assembling the tire. The LM screw is actually how we attach it to the vehicle. So when we come back, I'll show you the entire car. We'll actually have a chassis that's sitting up on all 4 wheels after this stage, so that'll be kind of cool. Anyways, we'll see you in a few minutes. And that's it for stage 34. Like I said, that was super fast. And again, I've done it 3 other times, so it doesn't surprise me. So anyways, now we've got a fully assembled bottom, I think. I would assume that we don't have any more left underneath. Now it's going to start being everything up. But we'll see. I might be wrong in that, but it just seems like the way they've set up the build that we've done everything over here, and we just have all of the rest of it now to do with. But anyhow, the next, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. The next episode I plan on doing is another Star Trek The Next Generation Enterprise build. But if you guys like these videos, go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel and hit that bell so you get notified when I put these out. Generally, they're going out once a week right now. So if that trend continues, you'll expect these every week or so. So for all of us at the Heart of Geek, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and hope to see you in the next one. Have a good night.